Okay, folks, the number 23 right there, our bad boy, Draymond Green. His exit interviews are out. We're going to play the full sound bites for you, and we're going to dissect. Did Draymond Green have a good or bad season? Comment your thoughts. Let me know down below. And then watch this video through, hear what he says, watch what I talk about, and let me know if your thoughts change as well. Draymond Green, good or bad season, and hear what he thinks about the Jimmy Butler trade, Jonathan Kuminga, Steph Curry, and moving forward the next couple years with his contract. Randy Silver here with you. We got Arthur. We're breaking down trade rumors, draft rumors, free agency, summer league, extra interviews, anything in between. We got you. Please subscribe to Wars Digest. We've gained over 800 followers the past 3 days from all these videos. We got content thick and fast for you. Let's dive into Draymond's stats for the season. He did get that massive suspension last year. He had the Rudy Gobert thing. He had the Nurse thing. He was out for some games. Only played 55. This year he played 68. Was his most since 22-23. And then before that, had some nagging injuries, things like that. But a very good season for him in terms of the number of games he played. You look at his field goal percentage was down, which is a bit interesting. He did miss some layups that were backbreakers in games. And his three-point percentage was down. Only 32%. This to me is weird because it felt like he was shooting threes more, better. But maybe he was shooting more threes and he was missing them more. So that's why. You can see he was shooting at least 1 to 3 game. He hasn't done that since 2018. And he was 30%. 30%, 38% in 2015, 2016, which was the mark of his career besides the year before that. Or last year, excuse me. So I would say it's pretty good, honestly. And you saw how much teams sag off on him. So he's given the corner three, the top three, and he made some big threes. Like, he definitely made threes that mattered in the moment. There were a couple games he won like 2 of 6, 3 of 5. There were some like 0 for games. But all in all, I would like to think he did better than this percentage-wise, but it's probably because he took a lot of threes. If we take a look, 246 threes, which puts him, again, right up here around that mark. So he took a lot of threes, made 80 of them. Felt like he made more. Free throw-wise was not good, 68%. Consistently hovering around 70%, a bit lower than normal. And you look at how many he had, 147, which up there. Not the most of his career, but it was up there. Rebounding-wise, 6.1 total for the season, a bit low. And you can see he was really in the 7s for about a decade, if not higher. You look how many that is, 414 total. So disappointing there, but I think he was more out on the perimeter more, and he was letting guards get the rebounds. Assists, always a nice assist person, 5.6. Steals, 1.5. Points per game, 9. Again, coming with the threes a bit. The most he's had since, what season is that? 2017, 2018 per game. So look at this. Do you think that makes his season statistically as individually a success or a failure? A bit down from where he is. I would say a success because he didn't have crazy suspensions. Yes, Draymond will get texts and flagrants. That's just the type of player he is. But it wasn't detrimental to the team like previous years where he was out 5 games in a row, 10 games in a row, something like that. And we had to try to make up for it. No, he was available, a team leader for this team. Missed some games due to injuries. That's NBA, that's fine. But no long-term suspension. And that takes you to what he's talking about in his exit interviews. So what does he think just about the season as a whole?
I wholeheartedly believe Steph was healthy. We could have done that, but I once won a championship where Kyrie Irving got hurt in the NBA Finals and Kevin Love got hurt in the NBA Finals. Do I think we still would have won if they didn't get hurt? I do believe so, but we'll never know. That's just the nature of the sport that we play. Injuries are a part of it, and they're unfortunate. So you can't take the good and be like, oh, man, we won a championship, and it don't matter that somebody was hurt. On the flip side, can't sit here and be like, we would have won had Steph not got hurt. No, you've been on the other side of that. So respect it when it don't go your way. One thing I hate is a front runner. Oh man, we won our championships because we were that good, which we were. But Kyrie Irving got hurt. Kevin Love got hurt. Robert Williams got hurt. That is the nature of the sport we play. So unfortunately this time, luck wasn't on our side and Steph Curry got hurt. But we've dealt with it before. Kevin Durant got hurt. Klay Thompson got hurt, So you start to take a peek. It happens every year somewhere. It may not be here. It may be another team. But when it ain't on your side, you can't be the guys that go up there and be like, man, we would have won if. Yeah, in a perfect world, probably. But the world ain't perfect. It's far from it. And so take the good with the bad. The Minnesota Timberwolves ended our season. They beat us regardless of who we had on the floor. We were a playoff team, and they moving on. That's just, it sucks for Steph that he wasn't able to be out there because you work so hard for those moments to be in that situation. And so I feel for him. But under no circumstance will I be like, oh, man, they lucky Steph. No, they won. And move on. We try to get better this offseason and try to do it again next year.
That's a lot to unpack from Draymond. Overall, I love what he said. I mean, he's right. We won some series in the playoffs. He didn't mention Ja Morant getting hurt to get to the finals or winning the finals because of injuries. And Warriors have been pretty lucky in the playoffs, besides for Kevin Durant with the Achilles. Obviously, he was dealing with the calf injury going up into that we've been relatively healthy in the playoffs without catastrophic injuries, besides KD, which I know is a major one, especially when you're going for a three-peat. I get it. But you can't sit in the woes. You can't say, hey, we would have, or should have, we could have, whatever it may be. So I like what he said there. And you work your ass off all season to get to the playoffs when it matters most. In the miss, as a competitor at the highest level, that really hurts. So I agree with everything that Steph said there. Draymond said right there. Now the question is about Draymond moving forward, his position. We know he doesn't like to play center. Steve Kerr doesn't like him at center. They need a center. Is he the center moving forward next year?
I am the center of the future. No, I'm just playing.
I mean, you might be right.
No, honestly, listen, Loon has been here for 10 years, and he's been incredible. That was a key cog in us winning the championship in 2022. Trayce has grown a lot, over the past 2 years. Being, was he the 52nd pick or something like that? 57? And, the strides that he's made has been incredible. What we do at the position, I'm not sure. That's not really my role, but what I will say is I think you always have to be looking to get better. If you're not looking to get better in this league, if you're not looking to get better in this league, you're either getting better or you're getting worse because everyone else is doing the same. And so I don't know what happens. I think, Mike will take a deep look at all of those things. I know whenever I'm called up on to play the five, I can. I think, there was a big, there was kind of a big worry with me playing the five so much this year. And I think I've answered those questions. I've been strictly a five since Jimmy's been here until 2 nights ago. And I think my body held up great. I feel great. I think I'm coming out of this season as healthy as I've come out of any season. And that was with logging 35 to 37 minutes a night for 3 straight months at the five position, fighting for a playoff spot. And so I know I'm cut out for it and can handle it. But like I said, we have to get better, and improving requires you to look at everything. So I'll always be an option for our organization. And if they want to go that direction, I'm always going to be right. I wouldn't turn that down, what if it's like, oh man, you can start at the five or you don't start? Well, I'm going to start at the five. It is what it is. I think When I look around the league, yeah, guys are big. Joker, Sengun, Zubac, Joel, healthy Joel. Like, yeah, but I don't back down from anyone. And if that's what our organization decide to do, I'll be right here ready to go. And if they decide that want to go one of the fives on the roster, great. If they decide they want to go after someone, great. You know me, I'm always in favor of what's best for this organization. I can always see past myself when it comes to this organization.
What I love about Draymond, he's just always super honest and transparent, and you heard it right there. I mean, he bangs with the centers all the time. He didn't mention Gobert, which was the series, but it's not sustainable. He's 6'6", 6'7", max, and he's done it his whole career, but he's in his upper to mid-30s now. People are getting younger, taller, faster, stronger, bigger, you name it. He did a great job against Sengun in the Rocket series. Like, he held them. He was able to keep his position, not let him get low, get the finger rolls. So he did a really good job. Like, give him credit there. But the Warriors need a center. It's obvious when I showed you the stats. Rebounding, we need a proper center. Someone who's big like an Adams, a Zubac like that, who can command the post. Looney, 10 years of service, has done a great job, but he's just not that guy anymore. And they need a proper center to be successful. And then it takes you to the last question about Draymond and Jimmy Butler with the trade.
I think the biggest change that needed to be made was we needed someone like Jimmy Butler. And we made that change. So I think the hardest part is done. It's harder to get guys like that through trade, through free agency. Just doesn't come up often. And so I think that part is done and puts us in a much better situation going into this offseason than last year where we're kind of looking for that, you know. And so that being said, we have to get better, you know, and we understand that. You know, we lost in the second round, regardless of what the circumstances were. We lost in the second round. So we need to improve. We've always spoke about there being 82 game players and 16 game players. At some point, for us, we have to take a look at both because, you know, ideally, you don't want to be from February 8th on scrapping and clawing for every win that you could possibly get. That takes a toll after a while. You know, for us, we've kind of been in playoff mode for the last 3 months. It's not a highly effective way to win a championship. And so I think we all understand that from top to bottom in the organization, and we need to put ourselves in a better position to have a great year, not finish great. That makes sense. I hope that don't come off as like, yeah, we want to finish great, obviously, but the year needs to be indicative of that to allow the finish to be what we want it to be.
And I get what he's saying here. You can't put yourself in crunch mode and have that pressure that back half of the season. You want to be able to do well all season. I get what you're saying, Draymond.
You know, having to play 3 months of playoff, I think ultimately took its toll, you know, over the course of the last few weeks. So I think that'll be the focus. Feel very confident, very strongly that we can still make another run or two at the ultimate prize. But we definitely have to get better.
Dude, I just love Draymond's answers. He is so in-depth and long. I know it puts the video longer, but hearing the full answer makes a lot of sense because he really dives into the details. And, like, he's right. The Warriors season before Butler, we were 26-25, started 12-3, and then boom, folks, it just got terrible in the late fall, winter, and Butler took us back on the rocket ship. That mentally takes a toll. That physically takes a toll to have to play playoff game day in, day out starting in February. Steph can't get a break. Dre can't get a break. These older players have to play meaningful games, meaningful minutes towards the end of the season when maybe they could get a game off, take 20-minute game versus a 40-minute game because they don't need the win as bad. and you're playing like, oh, we're in the playoffs today. Now we're in the play-in. Like, it's a mental toll. And then, lastly, I'm not going to play because this video is getting long. Draymond Green on JK. His future is bright, whether it's here or it's somewhere else. His future is bright. The type of talent usually figures out. I think he will figure it out. And we've reported on this channel many times. Draymond, Steph, Butler talked about Kuminga's mindset to be successful through the up and down roller coaster season. They would love him to come back, but it's a money thing. And again, the money thing, oops, I'm not trying to tweet right now. I apologize. The money thing is, again, he's a restricted free agent. They're going to give him the $7.5 million qualifying offer, 7.6. And then the question is, will he take it? The answer is no. And how much will he get on the market? Will the Warriors be able to agree to that? And when they bring that, match it. Because right now you're at 171. If he gets 20, 30 million open market, now you're going to be over the first apron. So folks, Draymond Green, extra interviews. Comment your thoughts. The question was his season a success? Let me know. Let me know. Comment your thoughts. Myself, Arthur, we're here for you 24/7 Warriors Digest. Please subscribe. Again, all the other extra interviews are in the comments below, so go watch them if you haven't yet.